Hello, friends, and welcome back to Stories About Entitled People. A level of entitlement that seems, to layman me, to cross over into mental illness. Seriously, is there something structurally wrong with these people's brains? I guess assaulting a cop's just sprinkles on the glazed donut at that point. But before we start, I want to say that I started my Twitter account, and if you subscribe to me, it'll really help me to solve my trouble with monetization, so I'll be very grateful to you. Link in the description and in the comments under the video. Thank you very much, and let's get started. Entitled mom illegally drives car on bike path, gets mad at me when I say something. So I live near a bike path, and since the beginning of the pandemic, I've been biking it a lot. It's about 10 miles long and is skinny, so not big enough for too many people. Of course, other people are also there. Yesterday, I went out for my bike ride and saw this kid biking with a SUV in front of him, like an escort. They were going the opposite way, and when the car saw me, the person inside told me to go off the path so they could go by. Now listen, there's no way that cars are allowed here, and it's clearly marked so. Every intersection of the path said no cars, and there were poles blocking the path. She must have pulled around them somehow. I confronted her. EM is the mom, M is me. The kid was not a big part of it, so they're just the kid. EM, pull over, I'm coming through. M, you can't drive here, it's a bike path, not a road. EM, I'm escorting my kid so he doesn't get hurt or kidnapped. Move and stop blocking my car, idiot. M, then bike with him. Don't drive in front of him, endangering everyone else. EM, just get out of the way. I'll run you over if you don't. The nerve of some people. You should just go away. M, I'm calling the police if you don't stop driving on the path. EM, fine, I'll pull off at the next road. You didn't have to be so rude about it. I pulled over and let them by, but I followed behind them just to see what they did. A road came by, and guess what? She just kept going. I was really mad now, but I just waited. Another road came by, and she went by again. I decided to just call the cops and see what would happen. I told the person on the phone where we were, and they said someone was coming. We were near the cop station, so someone was there at the next road. The cop pulled in front of them and told them to pull off. I was far away, so I just sat back and watched her. She gets out of the car and starts yelling at the cop. The cop tries to calm her down, but she got so mad she slapped the cop. The cop grabbed her and put her in the car. He then said something onto his radio, and another cop car came and took the kid away. I left at this point feeling happy that I got some justice. A level of entitlement that seems to me, to a layman, to cross over into mental illness. Seriously, is there something structurally wrong with these people's brains? And our second story. Water is a privilege and is not my job. Bring it up with management. This isn't entirely my story, and it also happens almost 5 years ago, so I don't remember all the details anymore, but I thought it fit here pretty well. So for some backstory, last April I started working as a cashier at a home improvement store in my town. I'd worked the same job at the same place right out of high school 2 years previously and came back because I was looking for a better paying job and it was a good place to work, and the vast majority of coworkers and customers were good people. In the 2 years that I'd been gone, all the head cashiers, the people who were one management level above cashiers and ran the shifts on the front end, were the same, but one had been promoted to front-end supervisor, FES from here on, meaning she was the department head for cashiers and lot loaders, guys who pull in carts and help people load purchases into cars. Like I said, almost everybody got along with everybody at this store, but the FES was hated by most cashiers and head cashiers and very much disliked by most of the rest of the store. She just seemed to go out of her way to rub people the wrong way and was known to straight up lie about people to get them in trouble, even though they did nothing wrong. She also despised customers, and it was clear customer service really wasn't her thing. Why she worked in retail, nobody knows. On to the story. So it was early to mid-May, I believe, about a month after being rehired, and I was mostly working the garden register as a closer. Keep in mind, I live in South Texas, where temperatures are known to hit the mid-90s as early as late February, and by the time it's early May, summer's hit its full stride, and every day it's at least 100 degrees out, usually with 100% humidity even in the shade. So if you were working outside for hours at a time like the garden cashier and any of the lot guys, dehydration was a real possibility, so there was a large ice chest kept behind the garden register that was for employees and the occasional vendor to grab a water bottle from for free. The water came from 24-count cases that we sold in-store, and anybody with a store mobile phone could ZMA, or mark down for store use. Since I was working out there fairly often and 24 bottles of water didn't last very long, I asked several times how we were supposed to get more when we ran low or were out, since the first time I worked there, it was a serious struggle to get more water due to even the HCs not knowing. Anyway, I was told to just call the HC on duty and let them know we needed more water outside. This was never a problem with the normal HCs, though sometimes they might take a while to get it out if they were busy. But like I said, the FES hated doing her job. Anyway, backstory over. The FES was head cashier on duty, and the cashier posted out in the garden was down to 2 bottles of water, so she called up FES and asked for some more to be brought out. C for coworker/cashier. C. Hey FES, I'm almost out of water. Can you bring some more out when you get a chance? FES. Why are you bothering me with this? C. Because we were told to call the head cashier when we needed more water. FES. Well, it's not my job, and water's a privilege. Call management if you want more water. Yes, she, honest to God, said that water is a privilege, even though corporate were the ones that authorized the markdowns of the cases of water, as well as the 5-gallon jugs we used for the water cooler we had near the main registers inside. So anyway, C decided to follow her orders and called up management. I believe she called the store's HR manager, since it was easier to get a hold of her than an MOD who are hard to keep track of, who's on shift, and what phone they happen to have, and requested some water be brought out to garden since they were now out. After being questioned as to why she was calling the HR manager instead of FES, C explained FES comments on water is a privilege, call management, and that she was just doing what FES had told her to do. Cue a massive crap storm from upper management who had C come write up an incident report, and this was the beginning of the spiral down for FES from her lower-level management position. Shortly after hearing about this story, it was announced we would be getting a new FES, a former HC who'd moved departments a few times and was much beloved by those who had worked with her when she was an HC. Old FES, OFES, was apparently informed that new FES, NFES, would be working alongside her as a fellow FES, which OFES really didn't like the idea of, so she stepped down / got demoted from FES with the plans of going back to part-time and working as an HC. Except then it turned out that when a department head steps down / gets demoted and they want to go to a different lower management position, they have to reapply for that position. Turns out OEFS was never told this, on purpose, before she could no longer apply to be an HC, and she got shunted to a regular cashier, a job she despised, though she still tried to act like she was in charge of everything still. After a month or two of being a regular cashier, she accused a HC of assaulting her, aka supposedly ripping some hand baskets away from her and messing up her hands, and was caught in the lie after me and a few other cashiers filled out incident reports, and so she got shunted over to the customer service desk as a greeter. Did I mention that she's the last person anyone would ever want dealing with customer service? Anyway, about a month ago, it turns out she finally quit, and the store gave a collective sigh of relief, and it's about damn time. Water is a privilege. OMG. Yeah, pretty sure the Geneva Convention would disagree. But what can we do about it? Who knows? And our last story. I stole my boss's job. I've been with my current employer since graduating from university 8 years ago. The job's right in my specialty. I was hired because I was one of the top graduates, and in the initial interview, the owner assured me that there are great opportunities to grow, and he had big plans for me. The first few years were tough, but I was learning so much. My superiors and coworkers praised me, and I was really happy and grateful. Then, a couple of years ago, my new direct manager, Rose, came. I work in a separate company in a remote location from the city. She assured me that one day I will manage my own, and she will just help me in the beginning. Rose manages several other companies. However, the company I work for is the biggest. Everything started great. She was really pleased with my work. Then, all of a sudden, Rose decided to hire a helper/replacement for me. When I asked why, she told me that I may get pregnant. I'm very single, and she knows it. Rose also promised that once the replacement's here, she'll train me for 10% of the work I wasn't already doing, the manager part. For all these years, I took only about 20% of my PTO, so I was happy to have a replacement. When this person came, he was hired for a higher position than me, and the promised training never happened. I asked what'll happen with my promotion, and Rose told me that the owner decided that there will never be a manager in my location. She's to remain the only manager of all companies. I asked, can I at least become deputy manager or some other more senior position? The answer was no. Then she showed me some job postings and encouraged me to apply, saying I deserved better, but it was impossible here. I was really disappointed and started searching for a new job. Despite COVID-19, I received an offer for a manager position and they matched my salary, but when I gave notice, the owner was very surprised and said he doesn't want me to leave. He offered me the manager position and a huge raise. I accepted. Rose claimed that she wasn't aware of my ambitions, but she wants me to take the job. She remains manager of the other companies. Since then, things have been awkward. Before, Rose was always really kind to me. She became very cold and distant. I know taking a counteroffer is a big no-no, but I love my job and always dreamed of being a manager in this company. The reasons I think I may be the a-hole: most of my coworkers told me that I worked really hard and I deserved the promotion, but some told me that I haven't communicated clear enough that I was interested in the advancing of my career, as I'm always the quiet one. They said that the way I achieve my position by threatening to leave is not honest and mature. I also considered Rose a mentor and a friend. Naive, I know. And in my view, it's wrong to steal another person's job. Probably she realized that you'd take her job, so she tried to cut your progress, and she wanted you to leave the company, and she got what she deserved. You didn't threaten to leave, you actually got another solid offer. You were asked to stay and promoted. I don't see the problem here. For everyone but Karen. Hey guys, thank you all for watching the video. I'll see you in the next one.